Hi everyone, so it's currently a Sunday afternoon as I film this, and to be honest I wasn't going to go out today. I was just going to stay in my flat and update my stock portfolio. I've got so many photos to upload to stock sites, so I was going to do that today, but then I looked out the window at my flat and the sky's actually looking really interesting today. Kind of very mixed conditions. There's a lot of blue sky, but there's also a lot of cloud as well. Some of the clouds looking very white, some of the clouds looking very dark. So really mixed conditions in the sky, which I just thought looked really interesting. As landscape photographers, we always want to take photos either sunrise or sunset, because obviously that's when the best light is. But depending on what the weather's doing, you can't always do that. You know, sometimes there might not be a particularly nice sunrise or sunset, or sometimes you just want to take photos in the middle of the day. So that's what I'm going to try and do now. It is definitely possible to take interesting and dramatic photos in the middle of the day, and I think especially on a day like this with the sky the way it is, I definitely think there's some scope to get some nice dramatic photos today. So that's what I'm going to try and do, and hopefully show you that you can also take good photos in the middle of the day as well. So I'm heading to Carlisle Cathedral, and there's a couple of reasons why I've chosen Carlisle Cathedral. One of which is because the cathedral is one of Carlisle's few kind of like landmarks, and one that I haven't yet photographed. If you've been watching my videos, you'll have seen me photograph Carlisle Castle a couple of times, but I haven't yet photographed the cathedral, and that's something I've been wanting to photograph for a while. So that's the first reason why I'm choosing Carlisle Cathedral, and second reason I'll show you when I actually get there. Of roadworks behind me again. So much roadworks in this city at the moment. I don't know what's going on at the moment, but something to do with the gasworks, but there's just roadworks all over the place at the moment. But I do really like this street heading up towards the cathedral though. Good old-fashioned cobbled street. Yeah, kind of really old-fashioned buildings, so kind of old-fashioned, and yeah, I really like this street. Got the nice old street lamps. Yeah, it's a really nice street that takes you up towards the cathedral. Okay, well, as you can probably see behind me, I'm at the cathedral now. I've got my camera set up, and the second reason why I wanted to come here is similar to what I'd done when I photographed the castle recently. Is I noticed in which direction the clouds were blowing, and looked on Google Maps and Google Earth to kind of plan where I could stand so that I could frame my camera looking towards somewhere with the clouds moving in the same direction as I was pointing my camera. Because with the long exposure, that creates quite a nice effect. So the cathedral fit that perfectly. I've moved around quite a bit to try and find the right composition, and I think I'm pretty happy with what I've got now. I don't know how much you can see, but there's quite a lot of trees around, which I'm trying to avoid. I don't like branches of trees like hanging into and creeping into the frame of your shot, especially the way they look at the moment. You know, if they had some blossom on them, they might look quite nice, but at the moment they're just very bare and they don't look good. So I'm trying to avoid as much of them as I can. the signposts around, which I'm trying to avoid. So I'm trying to avoid all of that while simultaneously getting as much of the cathedral in as I can. And also, if I just walk over towards my camera, yeah, as I was moving around, can I get it in shot? Well, I don't know if you can see, but there's an old style light just on the edge of that building there, which looks quite nice. Kind of acts as a bit of a foreground interest again in my frame. Gives it another nice little element. So yeah, I'm quite happy with my composition here. The sun is behind my camera, behind me, behind the cathedral. So the light's hitting the cathedral really nicely, and yeah, lighting the cathedral very nicely, so that's good as well. And then yeah, because the clouds are changing a lot, the light is changing a lot, so I'm just playing about with my shutter speed. I'm having to adjust my shutter speed all the time, so I'm just going to stay here for a while and take several different shots because the clouds are changing so much and the light is changing so much. I'm just going to take a variety of different shots and just see what we get. There's some kids playing football here just a little bit earlier as well, and they were kind of intrigued what I was doing, came over to see what I was doing, and yeah, thought it would be funny to try and ruin my time lapse. Pesky kids. Upside and down, and I don't feel like I wanna wear the crown. Oh, have you heard about the free world? Is it true what they say? And this is where filters like the big stopper come in handy in the middle of the day like this. So I use leaf filters, and I've got their big stopper in my camera at the moment, which blocks out 10 stops worth of light, so I'm able to take long exposures. And I'd actually quite like, I think they call it a super stopper, which blocks out 15 stops worth of light. I'd actually quite like that because I would quite like to take just slightly longer exposures still, but the big stopper's still doing the job. I'm getting, depending on the light, I'm getting exposures of between sort of 15 and 25 seconds, which is working quite nicely. So yeah, that just gives you that movement in the clouds, which, you know, provides much more interesting, much more dramatic photos on days like this. So yeah, if you want to take nice dramatic photos in the middle of the day, then it's definitely worthwhile getting yourself a big stopper or even a super stopper. Now ideally what I want and what I'm waiting for is for the sun to go behind a nice big cloud, which will darken the light a little bit, and which will mean that I'm able to take a longer exposure. But at the same time as that, I want some nice cloud over the cathedral as well. So that's essentially what I'm waiting for at the moment. Obviously, it's no good taking a nice long exposure if there's no clouds in my frame. So yeah, now for example, the sun has just gone behind a real thick cloud, so that's allowing me to take an exposure of around about 40 seconds. But there's currently no cloud at the cathedral. However, there is that thick cloud behind me that the sun has just gone behind, and it's now about to come out the other end. So I'll wait for that big cloud to come over and hit the cathedral and see what the light does then. You can see as I'm filming this how the light is changing. So yeah, I'll wait for that big cloud to come over the cathedral and see what the light does. Potentially that could give me a really nice image. Well, the waiting has paid off, and I think I've gotten exactly what I wanted here, which makes a change. I'm pretty hard on myself as a photographer, and most of the time when I'm somewhere taking photos, I usually come away thinking I'd have liked to have gotten better there. But here, for once, I think I've basically gotten exactly what I wanted, so I'm really pleased with that. And yeah, I hope that shows that you can get photos, good photos, in the middle of the day. So yeah, I'm very, very pleased. So there's two entrances to the grounds of the cathedral, and surprisingly, they've already closed one of the gates. Am I in shot? Sorry, that change in light. But yeah, there's two entrances. They've already closed one of the gates, so I'm a little bit worried that they are gonna close the other gate and I'm gonna get locked into the grounds of the cathedral. So I've gotten exactly what I wanted. I don't want to get locked into the cathedral, so I'm gonna end the video here and head back to my flat. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this, and yeah, hope to see you again soon. Bye.